Hello and welcome to another video. I planned on doing this when I first moved in here, which was a year ago, and I have this big empty space behind my couch, and that's where I wanted to go ahead and put some artwork. And when I planned this room, even before I moved in, I knew I wanted to have some wall art, and I saw a lot of pieces online that I really liked, and I was inspired to just try to do something myself because I like doing artistic things every once in a while, and I figured, why not? Why not paint acrylic on canvas? How hard can it be? So I have some inspiration in mind that I want to try to accomplish. I really like Chattanooga, as we know, and I like the outside, and there's this creek where I used to live that is nestled between the mountains, and when it rains really heavy, it'll create mist and like fog over that area, and so it's like super pretty when you drive by after it rains, because you'll see like the creek running through, and then you have like this fog over everything, and you got like the trees covering the hills in the background, like the dark green of the trees covered in mist and fog against like the dark gray overcast sky, and it's super pretty. And that is what hit me, that I'm like, that is what I want to paint. That is the scene that I want to incorporate in my living room because it fits the theme. I can do all the colors that are in my room. It creates that feeling that I like, that I wanted to have in this living room anyways, which is the feeling of coziness and security and just hominess. So that is what I'm going to attempt to do today, and just want to take you along with me. So I'm going to line it up and say that the center is going to be the center of the couch, which is right here. And that's going to be my center for this. So I want this and landscape center. So I'm going to go ahead and measure it out, since I know how big it is, obviously. And then I'm going to use some painter's tape and just kind of tape around where I want it. That way I can kind of visualize and figure out where I want the other pieces to go. So I think that's all I'm gonna do, actually. I know these aren't properly measured out. Obviously that one's closer to the center than that one is, but just to give me a rough idea of what it's going to look like. I think it fills the wall quite nicely, and it's not like too much, not overcrowding, and that's what I want to avoid. I want to keep it, I like the symmetrical, so I kind of wanted to keep that, and I just want to keep it simple and not too busy. So now to figure out how we want to paint these. So I've got all my supplies here, and I'm really low. So I'm going to start with the white, because Bob Ross said so. But really, if you watch any of his videos, he always starts with a double primed canvas, which this is, but then he adds white to it to make it wet so that the colors blend easier, and that's really what I'm going for, because I want a flowy, foggy, misty kind of picture, not a whole lot of sharp lines in it, so that's what we're gonna do. After I take the seal off, I'm gonna use my biggest brush that came in this. After watching a little bit, I noticed that Bob Ross uses like a 2-inch brush a lot, and this is the biggest one I have, which is a size 12, whatever that means. So now my canvas has been painted white. So much progress. I didn't show you the whole thing because obviously watching me paint something that's already white again is really not interesting to anybody. It's almost like watching paint dry. I'm not gonna do that to you. So now comes the fun part. Actually, where we can mess things up. So this is where I get nervous. I really don't know where I want to begin. I guess I need to begin with the sky, because it's kind of the background, and that seems to be where a lot of people start. So for my sky, I want it to be gray. And so I'm going to do a little bit of black, but we're going to take the seal off again. And this is where the knife comes in, because I'm going to blend these colors together I don't like to waste, so... Okay. I think I'm like not using enough paint. It's like I'm afraid to use too much. I'm going to attempt to add some clouds. And create a little more texture to it. I'm gonna try to do it with a smaller brush. It's also square, and it's an 8 instead of 12. I don't know. What do you think? It's like a good amount of texture there. I don't know if it looks more like a white bush in the sky than it does a cloud, but I'm working on it. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't think I really like it. So now I am semi-content with the sky. I think I'm just gonna leave it. Now I'm gonna try the next challenge, which I'm very scared for since the sky didn't go as planned, which is the trees. Apparently there's like a lot of different techniques to making trees, and Bob Ross makes it look so easy. I just know it's not gonna be that easy. But here goes nothing. I think this is good. So we can get the color down. The question is, can we get the trees down? I'm going to attempt using the fan brush. The fan brush that came with it is like super thin though. Like after I started watching some videos, I realized that the more professional fan brushes are not this cheapo kind. So we'll see what happens. So got a lot of paint on there. Here goes nothing. I don't know. This is working a lot better than I was expecting, but still not where it needs to be because this brush obviously does not have enough bristles on it. I'm done using that one. Here's what I got so far. It's actually kind of coming together alright, but I need to figure out the trees a little better because I also want to make it more like mountainous, so yeah, challenging. I'm gonna continue using the big brush because it seems to be the most dense and bristles, and so therefore the easiest to use. The problem is that I forgot to add the water before I did the bottom trees, so yeah. That is not water, that is fog. But obviously it doesn't look good. So I'm gonna be fixing that. And I'm not really sure, might add more tree detail. Look at this tree. I am proud of that tree. That is a happy tree. All the other ones are a little, they're a little down and out about life, but that one's definitely, I'm proud of that tree. And the detail on it. Couldn't do it again if I tried, but that one worked out well. So now I'm thinking about using this angle brush instead for the trees, because this just didn't work, it was like too big. And I actually got more detail with this, but this just messed up more because of all the bristles going everywhere. So I'm thinking maybe this one being angled, maybe it will hold up better and do what I want it to. We'll see. I think before I do that, I'm gonna do water though, since I forgot the water before. And now we get to open the blue. Ooh. That is such a pretty blue. Oh my goodness. This Phthalocyanine blue? Phthalocyanine? Am I saying that right? I don't know. Experts, let me know. Experts aren't watching this, because if they are, they're like, wow, this is shameful. Look how pretty. It's matching the dominoes blue. That is not the shade of blue I want. I want it a little darker, so I don't know why I added white. I need to add black. Maybe the white helps turn it more gray? I don't know. Any color experts out there? This is a very dull color, could use some life, but we will add life later. Goodbye, perfect tree. May we meet again, hopefully. Plenty of gray blue left over. Now I want to add a little white. Oh, goodness. Ever do that with your toothpaste? That's not a good idea. What are you thinking, Amanda? What are you thinking? We're just gonna leave that there. And, I don't know. There's my water. Loving the shades that I have going on. The colors are what I was going for. However, everything else about it is not what I was hoping for. I have a lot of work to do. I might have to watch some more tutorial videos or something because I'm just not getting what I'm trying to get. So I decided not to watch any tutorials. We're just gonna wing this. I still have some of this blue left that I really like, and I kind of want to add it to the trees to make more like a blue spruce kind of look because this picture is a little on the dull side. It needs some more blue. I know you can't see any of this, so I'm gonna move you. How's that angle? Is that better? Probably get better lighting and coloring too. Should have done that a long time ago, huh? What do you think? Now I'm gonna take my very dirty paintbrush. I'm gonna take it with some white to make more like a little more fog and blended. I'm scared. Okay, so I'm liking the tree detail up here. The sky is pretty good. It's this bottom 2/3 of the painting that I'm not happy with. That I need to figure out how to fix. So yeah, it kind of looks like a weird like waterfall sort of situation going on here, and that is not what I'm going for. So this is where things get tricky because I have to figure out how to add dimension to keep this from looking like a waterfall and actually looking like the creek like it's supposed to be. I am not getting the branches like I want. I think I like got too much paint. Okay. The tree looks pretty good. They're gonna be covered up. What do you think? From far away, like what you can see, it looks pretty good. Like on the screen it looks pretty good, in my opinion. In person is another story. I don't know what to do. It's looking a little better. It still looks like a waterfall coming down from a mountain. Again, not what I'm going for. It still looks like a waterfall. That's not what I want. But I guess that's okay, because I guess that's what this will have to be. So this is my new tree paint formula, which is a lot of white, a little drop of blue, a slightly larger drop of black, and then the most of it is green. I mean, the most of it's white, but then green. So I'm really liking this little spot here. I love the edge of the tree, but the problem is if I go to put my water in, I have the same problem I had with the last painting. Where I've done the tree in front of the water and I can't do that. So I'm thinking about making it foggy instead. I think I could pull that off. We'll see. So obviously I wasn't able to keep my tree here because I really messed it up. I feel like I messed up all the trees. So I am back. It's a new day. I finished the other two paintings already. They're the smaller ones that are gonna go here and here. I consider them like a practice. I don't know why. I guess I just put on too much pressure on myself for the big painting. I'm very nervous about it because I'm really not 100% happy with how the other two turned out. I guess because I really had those pictures in mind of what I wanted and I didn't really seem to get it. However, I got the colors I wanted. It's not too bad, especially for my first time painting acrylic like this on a canvas. I think I did decent. So I'll show you what the first two little ones look like right now. So these are them right here. And I love the way the sky and the tree line turned out on this first one. This is the first one I did, but these darker solid gray spots I'm not really a fan of, but I do kind of like how the mist looks. And then you got like this tree line that's not quite as misty, but I did do like the misty fog all over it. I didn't like the way the water turned out because I just didn't get like the right lines on it. I just kind of did it like a blob, so it looks like either like a pond or a waterfall. I don't know. I don't know. And then this one is the second one I did, so I learned from my water mistake, and so I actually made it clearly a river. And I tried to follow the tutorials that say like do the lighter trees in the back and then progressively get darker as you go as they get closer to you, which worked, but again, they're like getting lost in the sky back here, whereas I love the definition of this one. So I'm gonna try to do this on the big painting. We'll see what happens. And then I kind of wanted to add more fog to this, but now that it's dry, I don't know, I think I'm just gonna leave it as it is. So let me know in the comments below which of these two are your favorite, this one or this one. I'll tell you A or B. I'll put it on the screen. So now I am ready for round 2 of painting. This time I'm going to do it on my couch, which is probably very dangerous, but got me another Domino's plate to use. I was going to try to use my old plate, but it was like sticky and weird and I don't think it's a good idea. So here we go. So I want to try something different that I saw online the other day, which is take 3 Q-tips and rubber band them together and then do like a sponge paint with them. So I'm just going to give it a try and do like a field of flowers. We'll see what happens. I'm not really impressed with this. This looks weird now. It's not terrible, I guess, but it's kind of hard to tell what it is, so just make those into trees. So since we know I don't like to be a wasteful painter, I'm going to add this green to my teal to make the trees down here. I think that's it for this round. Look, I cleaned my plate. I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna go over it lightly with the white. I'll probably do gray, a light gray, to create that fog look, and we'll see how that goes. So now, I'm so nervous. So I'm pulling out this small paintbrush. It's a number 4, as you can see, and it's much smaller than the ones I've been using. And I want to use this to get the fine details on this texture on the creek. For this, I'm just going to use this gray that I already mixed for the fog. So I'll let this dry overnight, and I'll see you again tomorrow. So initially I measured the distance between the couch and the ceiling, and it's 60 inches, so I was like, okay, so 30 is our halfway point. But I drew the 30 line halfway point, and it's right there. And it's like, I don't want to hang this one that low. Like, I stood back and looked at it, and I'm like, I like it where it's at. So I'm going to kind of do it there and not worry about the fact that it's not halfway between. I marked the center there, but the problem is this has a center beam in it, and so the center can't be here. So I'm gonna have to measure, I guess, like ½ inch on each side. I'm gonna do 2 to make sure it's secure and will stay there. So that is what I'm going to do now. So that's where it's gonna be. It's not quite as low as I wanted, but it'll be alright. Actually, I think it's probably perfect. So I'm going to take it off, take off the blue tape, and then we'll go on to the next one. So now for the tricky part, because I want to make sure that these smaller ones are the same distance away from the center. So I'm going to go ahead and measure from the center out what this distance is, because I like this distance better than the way this one is. I think it's a little too close. So I'm going to measure that out and then copy it over there. So they're hung. I don't know if they're probably not perfect, but they're close enough. It's really hard. Really hard to get it just right, but this is what they look like. So that's the first one that I did with the waterfall turned into pond sort of thing. And this is how the big one turned out. Lots more detail and texture to it. And of course I added a lot of the gray and like mist to add more dimension, and I like how it turned out alright. I really love those branches up there. And then this was the second one that I did. I love the way this creek turned out. Like the angle of it and everything is perfect, and how it fades into the trees. I like the tree fade. Not a fan of the upper part of it though. The trees kind of disappear into the sky, which I guess is realistic, but Doesn't really match the other two. But they all match enough. I mean, they're done with the same colors, so I can't really complain. So yeah, that is the finished product. So that is everything. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as I painted. Sorry this video is like really long. Cut out as much of it as I could. Yeah, I didn't realize how long this was going to take me. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a thumbs up. Leave in the comments below what you think. I guess critique my paintings, but be nice if you can. And that is it. I'll see y'all next week.